So you guys get a pretty big test this week. You got to go play Penn State at Beaver Stadium. Uh, what's that feeling like? You get to go, kind of to the big house here in Pennsylvania. You're from Pennsylvania. So, what's the feeling like as you guys are only a couple days away from that?
I mean, just growing up and stuff, and people always wearing Penn State apparel, going to class and stuff in high school and all that stuff. There's a great deal of PA pride in Penn State, and being from the great state of Pennsylvania, I think it's a great opportunity to play there this weekend. They had a great team. I think it's going to be a good test for us, and I think it's just a great opportunity for us. Playing in front of 110,000 fans. Are you kidding me? It's just unreal. Unreal.
And there was 110,000 there last weekend against Virginia, West Virginia. Now, if you can kind of like rewind the clock back to when you were a high school player, you were getting recruited, or even when you were a freshman at Delaware, was it ever on the list to potentially play in Beaver Stadium? Was that ever something that you wanted to have like on a wish list or a bucket list?
I mean, yeah. I don't know if it was on a bucket list, but
Sure. Yeah.
just being able to play, like one of the big schools in like my home state. I mean, that's very important. Delaware just has like a history of playing big time FBS opponents. 2 years ago we played Rutgers. Last year we played Navy, and I remember when I first committed, I was looking at like the composite schedules, and one of the things that it only shows is like those big time FBS or like non-conference games, and Penn State was the one my senior year. So, I mean, the clock has already turned and the time is ready to go right now.
Yeah. All right. So you had a little bit of a sneak peek in there. That's kind of cool. I like that. So we saw that Penn State has a pretty good defensive line. I think people know in Pennsylvania here, kind of studying Penn State, they know that Chop Robinson potentially could be a first-round draft pick, and there's a lot of great guys on the defense. You guys on the offensive line, how are you feeling about facing that Penn State defensive line?
I mean, you put up a great point. I think all around their defense, they got guys at all levels. Just being able to focus, and one of the big things that we've been trying to tell the guys is just communication. I mean, we're not used to, it's like 5 times the amount of fans that we're used to having here at Delaware Stadium. We can only hold 18,000. So just being able to communicate with the O-line and just knowing who to block. That's one of the biggest things that people kind of miss. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. They don't really understand that. That's one of the biggest keys of offensive line, just knowing who you block. And yeah.
So you did luck out. It's a day game, not a night game. So it won't be like whiteout conditions up there.
Yeah. That'll help out a little bit for sure.
Hey, I'm not sure if you're following along back home here, but it is Manheim Central Cocalico week.
Yes.
On the channel. Can you tell us what you remember from kind of your years here playing in that rivalry?
Definitely. Manheim Central, they always had a very good team, and I feel like when you go up against a really good opponent, it brings out the best in you. Unfortunately, I was never on the winning side of that, but I feel like I also had probably some of my best games against them. I mean, just thinking back on it, you just look at all the guys that went on to college, and just thinking about those guys that you played with and not played with, but played against, and some great stories that I'll have to be able to tell when I'm older.
So is it a favorite game of the year? Is it your least favorite game of the year? I mean, how does Cocalico usually treat it?
I mean, I think it's got to be the favorite game of the year. There's a couple guys. Well, there's a guy on our team from Manheim Central, and I mean, Nate Reed. He's always saying something about Cocalico and practice and stuff. So whenever he lines up the kick, I'm like, this is to win it against Cocalico, and it somehow always goes through.
So there's some trash talk then, a little bit.
Oh, there's some trash talk.
Okay. Have any been exchanged this week?
Nah, maybe. I think today he kicked one, and I was like, well, I think he missed it, and I said, well, I'm glad. I said I was very upset that he missed this one, but made it versus Cocalico.
Oh yeah, okay. So are you in on kick team, or are you kind of on the? How does that work for you?
So one of the blessings as a center is I'm the first guy off for field goal extra points, so that helps out a lot. You get a little extra break and stuff. So no, I'm not on extra point.
So nothing you do directly affects his success.
No.
Okay. I was just curious how that works. All right. So as far as the Manheim again, because this is kind of going on halftime of the game right now. What makes them such a hard team to beat? You know, you had kind of mentioned a little bit there that you weren't as successful at Cocalico as you guys would have liked to be against them in your tenure. What is it about them that makes them so hard to beat?
I think they just have a very good tradition, and I think they fly around with the ball. And one of the things that we always had to do when we played them was just keep your head on a swivel. A lot of times they put a little different pressures, and I mean just who the pitch read is, who the read guy is, it'd be different, and you'd always have to practice it different. And it was just one of those things where it was a different opponent. That's just you just got to think about it like that. All those shootout games. I mean, you got to play 4 quarters. It's not a 3-quarter game against them.
Well, and they seem to know you guys better than anybody else. Was that ever annoying to you guys?
It definitely was annoying. I mean, people know what we run, triple option, and
Yeah.
I think one of the best things about it is they just don't know how to stop it. And I feel like Manheim, they sometimes knew how to stop certain plays, and that kind of just did not help us out in that game.
All right, let's do back to Delaware just real quick before we let you go. What's the season outlook for you guys? You know, what do you kind of, from your view, how do you guys stack up with your schedule and in your conference? You know, what is it looking like this year?
I think the CAA great conference, and I mean every game is going to be a tough one. I feel like we're very fortunate to have a non-conference game this week, and just go back-to-back non-conference games, and just go into the heart of our schedule. I feel like every week it's going to be a battle, and got to prepare and practice well, and excited, very excited.
Okay. All right. Before I let you go, last question. I thought I heard that Noah Palm will be one of your adversaries this year. Is that true up in New Hampshire? And are you looking forward to that?
I mean, I'm very excited about that one. I think he's talked a lot of trash. In the
Noah Palm does not talk trash. What are we?
I mean, maybe off camera, but this guy, he is top-notch trash talker. He's told me that when he's lined up at safety, he's coming head hunting for me. So that'll be exciting to play against him. So yeah,
that's cool. Well, I can't. Hopefully, I can catch a little bit of that because you two guys for Cocalico was great senior year. You guys were legends there, and obviously having great success. Well, hey, yeah, good luck the rest of the way we go here with the season. I'll certainly have to keep an eye out, and I'll definitely be tuning in at noon on Saturday.
Thank you so much.